Hello, everyone. We are on YouTube and Mojo Masters Momentum Club Facebook group. I'm just wrapping up something really quick that kind of came on my plate at the last second while I wait for people to show up here. Super excited to share what I've got going for you because it's changed my life and I'm hoping to change your life with this information as too. Give me 1 second here. And okay. All right. So hello, everybody. I am really, really psyched to be here with you guys today. I am here teaching something that I have found to be so important, which is talking about productivity, but not just productivity, actual implementation. And the reason I am making this a big focal point this year is that I find that most of the women that I work with in the Quantum Leap Lab and the Slater Days Momentum Club are, they're really powerful, badass women, but they've kind of gotten stuck. They've gotten burnt out, maybe just frustrated. They've hit a ceiling in their business, and they're just not optimizing their potential that they have. If this is you, you're in the right place. So I'm Bambi Thompson. I'm a brain coach for anxiety transformation and success acceleration. Anxiety and success, they go hand in hand. And so I help ambitious entrepreneurial women or success-oriented women optimize and revolutionize themselves by leveraging neuroscience, mindset, the human energy body, and the law of attraction so that they can set and achieve bigger goals, make more money, and use manifesting and their energy body more strategically so that they have more joy, more ease, more flow, and more grace in their entrepreneurial journey. So today, my topic is kind of how to hack your to-do list. Well, not to hack your to-do list, but how to hack yourself to implement your to-do list. And I am going to share with you some things that have been very revolutionary for me. I am a bright, shiny object girl. And I am very creative. I am very, very smart. And I am like, wow, I could do that. Oh, I could do that too. And I could do that. And I could do that. And I'm all over the frickin' place. And I'm learning to hone in. One of my coaches, who I just adore, Tamsin Horton, she's like a Kajabi coach and a lawyer and freaking brilliant mind. If I could have 1 millisecond of her brain implanted in mine, 1 millimeter of her brain implanted in mine, it would like blow shit up. She always talks about, your 180K. You either do a plan for 180 days or 100 until you're making 180,000 in that with that plan. Most of us entrepreneurs, we're all over the place. We're jumping around from this plan and this plan, and the internet makes it really difficult to be focused. So I want to help you today to be more focused and strategic and be an implementer. And to actually get that to-do list that is going to serve your plan and your life and your money and your joy, to be able to implement the damn thing. Because a lot of us, myself included, we are information junkies. We're taking it in, we're taking it in, we're taking it in. However, we are not doing the outward actions to actually implement. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want you to think about, how do you interface with your to-do list? If you're like me in the past, I have a billion things on my to-do list. I'm way over ambitious in what I think I'm going to get done. And actually, I need to write that down because that's one of the things that I want to talk about with you. Okay. Okay, so your to-do list is, something that very often it just continues to grow. Some things get moved off it, but it just somehow continues to grow. And you're really frustrated with yourself because it's like, man, I have had this shit on my to-do list for 5 freaking years, right? It's like such a disempowering experience and feeling to have to face that when you look at your to-dos and you realize, yeah, that's been, like, okay, raise your hand or write in the comments if you have actually had your to-do list, like say, redo my will, right? And it's been on there for 7 years, right? Okay. So that's been me. We have our will, but it's like time to redo it. And it's been on my list literally for like 7 years. I'm actually in process with all of that now, which feels really good and really freeing. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything that I do with you is working on energetic stuff, your brain, rewiring your brain, retraining your brain, employing the law of attraction. So all of these things are going to be a little bit of a different approach to the typical classical, how do you get your to-do list? How do you get yourself organized for your to-do list? So the very first thing, and I really encourage you to get pen and paper and to write this down. I have 6 or 7 things I channel when I do these things. So I don't know what source is going to, also have me share with you, but for sure I have 6 or 7 things that I'm going to be teaching you. So hang in there. You want to stay to the end to get all the things. Okay. So number 1, you want to rewire your brain to perceive yourself as an implementer. You want to rewire your brain to perceive yourself as an implementer. How do you rewire your brain? By writing, reading, listening, and seeing yourself as someone who gets shit done. So write this down. Here's an affirmation that I would encourage you to put onto an app. I use the Think Up app, Think Up. And it's an app where I can record my voice saying an affirmation or saying whatever I'm trying to wire my brain to start having as its default mode. And it can repeat, and it can go on repeat, and you can put music to it. Anyway, check out the Think Up app if you don't already have it. But this is the statement that I am listening to over and over. I am an implementer who is organized, efficient, focused, and effectively completing her to-do list, right? So first of all, I'm telling myself a new identity. We take actions and have thoughts and have emotions based on the identity that we have. So I want to plant in my brain that I am an implementer. That's a new persona. That's a new identity that I want to have. I want to implant in my brain that it's going to help me be organized, efficient, focused, and effective. And I want to implant in my brain that I complete my to-do list. Okay? These are really important parts of the puzzle to being able to be more effective when you're building a business. So you're going to put that in your app or whatever you want to do where you're going to be hearing it. You're going to write it every single morning. All right, before you sit down and actually look at your to-do list. So you're starting to create new neuronal pathways. And I heard today in one of my coaching programs that the frontal lobe, which is our thinking, decision-making lobe, has about 200 impulses per second. Our subconscious, I don't know where this fact came from, but and our subconscious mind has about 400 million impulses per second. So it's our subconscious mind that's really driving the bus and making us make decisions and take actions or not take actions, right? So we have to impregnate our subconscious mind with new beliefs, if you will, about ourselves. And the way you do that is through repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay, that's number 1, rewire your brain for a new identity. Second one is you're going to set an implementation intention, okay? Intentions are powerful things. So an implementation intention is saying, I am going to sit at my desk and work through my top 3, you can say this however you want. I'm going to sit at my desk location and do my top 3 priorities. What's the task? At 9 a.m. every day. All right. So you're giving yourself the location, the time, and the task. And that's something, again, that you probably want to write every day and that you want to have in that repetition thing. You want to tell yourself 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now, I have right now, I'm working on having my workout done by 9 o'clock. And I'll tell you what, is 8:30 is rolling around and I haven't like gotten my act together with my workout yet. I start to feel friction. My brain is saying, Bambi, Bambi, let's go, man. We got 30 minutes to get that workout done. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right. So you want to put a timestamp on it. And this is true for goals as well. There will be friction if you say that you're going to do X and Y and Z by, May 31st, 2024. As the time moves along, you're starting to go, shit, I haven't done anything on that. That's a really big thing. You start to feel friction. Friction is an opportunity for growth. Friction says, here's the chance for you to change your future by stepping into the activity or stepping away and letting go of your dreams, right? So that friction is your brain being an ally saying, hey, let's go, let's do it, let's do it. And here's the thing. If you're programming your subconscious mind with a new identity that you're an implementer who's organized, efficient, focused, and effective in completing her to-do list, then you can move into the action knowing that not only is your subconscious mind your neuronal wiring, but the law of attraction is going to support you in that. So you have a lot of allies going on, energetic, magnetic, creative source energy that's going to help you be successful. So let go of your fear, just move forward, right? And take the action. Okay, so number 2 is set an implementation intention. Number 3, I've kind of addressed a little bit, which is you're going to start to feel friction. When you sit down to do something that's, it's do the hard thing, right? Yeah, it's not that much fun. You're going to feel some friction. You're going to feel like an urgent need to clean your toilet. And suddenly it's going to be like, oh God, I didn't take the garbage out. And suddenly it's like, I'm really exhausted. I need to take a nap. And suddenly it's like, oh, I better meditate and get my energy right before I take action, right? All that shit's going to come up. So just address it and go, oh, thank you, brain. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but it's okay. I got this. And then move forward. So understand that friction is going to show up. Resistance is going to show up. It always will. It always will. It always will. It's never going to go away. All right. So just acknowledge it, that it's a part of your brain. It's a part of your brain. Okay. But we give all of our attention to that part of our brain and we let it drive our decision and our action instead of acknowledging it's a part of your brain, your ego. It's trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you small and contained. And you just got to acknowledge it. Say, hey, thanks so much for showing up today. She's going to show up every day. Every day she's going to show up. And just say, hey, thanks for showing up today, but I got this. It's okay. I'm safe. And you move forward and you take your action. And it's okay to fail forward. It's okay to make mistakes. Big freaking deal. We all make mistakes. We all fail. It's part of the journey of success. If you're terrified of failure, you're terrified of success because they go together. There will be failures in the mixture of success. When you work the way I teach my clients to work, you have a lot less failure because you're employing neuroscience and the law of attraction and spirit, right? We're working spiritually, energetically, magnetically. We're doing a lot of things. So the failure ratio is way, way lower with my clients because they're employing all of these different things. Okay, so you're going to, number 3 is push through that discomfort. And every time that you do push through the discomfort, you're strengthening a neuronal pathway in your brain that will eventually make it so much easier for you to move through discomfort and be able to achieve more. You're creating habit. Right? So every time you say no to the friction and you cross the line into activity, you are strengthening a neuronal pathway that will eventually become a habit that will eventually become automatic. It'll be like so automatic that you don't even register the friction, you just go, right? So this is really, really important. All right, number 4, I want you to write your to-do list with a verb first and then the thing. So for example, instead of saying 3, like I'll often just write in the past, 3 social media images. Okay. Now I'm saying design 3 social media images, call, blah, 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 write my email sequence, whatever it is, but have the verb in the front end. Why? Because it's going to tell your brain how it needs to perform in that moment. It's going to step into its writer persona. It's going to step into its designer persona. It's going to step into its calling and communication persona. All right. Now, why do we want to start with a verb in the front of each task? Is because you want to then categorize and organize and what's the word? Put things together, categorize, I guess, put things together based on the activity. Okay, so you want to put all of your design activities together so that you can put on your design hat, jam out, be a designer for a couple of hours and bang off a whole bunch of stuff. Then you take that off and you put your writing cap on. Take a break. Got to take a break, gang. Brain needs time for a break. Then you put your writing cap on and you do your writing activities. Jumping around from copy to writing to designing to writing to calling to social media to posting to responding to that's how most of us run while we're building our business. It's no wonder you get tired. It's no wonder you get burnt out. Your poor brain doesn't work that way. It wants to get in a groove and jam, and be in a groove for a little while, and then get in the next groove and jam. So by starting your to-do list tasks with a verb and then categorizing and putting all those verbs together, those things, and then sit down and do those activities, you're going to have so much more productivity. It's going to blow your mind. And your brain just really doesn't do well. Every time you switch to a different mode, let's call it a performance mode for your brain, you are really, really depleting your bank account of focused and efficient energy. Every morning you wake up with a bank account of a certain amount of, energy and focus. So every time you're jerking around and like, oh, now I'm going to look at my emails and I'm going to, I got notifications going on. And oh shit, I got to go do a post in Facebook. Every time you're doing that, and I have run my business that way for many, many years, and I don't do that anymore. Every time you jump to a different performance mode for your brain, you're sucking a bunch of shit out of your energy bank, and you have a quantifiable amount of that every day. It starts fresh every morning. All right. So, which is why they say eat the big frog first. Use when your bank account is the fullest of focused, efficient energy. That's when you want to address these big, important tasks for your day. All right. Now, so you've got your to-do list, you've got it written down and everything. This is something I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do. It's a pain in the ass, but for 1 week, do a time study. Write your list, then put, it's almost like you have your items, and then next to it, put how long you think each activity is going to do. Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, Write down your estimated time in a column, and then put 2 slots after. The first slot is the time you start the activity, and the next slot is the time you end the activity. All right. I want you to put 2 slots, because if you think you're going to remember to how long did it take, you're not going to remember. But if you see 2 slots there, it's like, all right, I'm starting, it's 12:20, boom. write 12:20, go. You're going to feel this focus that you've never had before, because it's like you're focusing on how long is this task going to take me? This task, this one task. Okay. So do a time study for a week. Why? Because I guarantee you the stuff that you think you can get done in 30 minutes is actually going to take you 45 minutes to an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. We way underestimate how long time takes for a task. And the only way we can learn and become more efficient is to actually do a time study. Very, very valuable thing. For a time study, I write down everything I'm doing all day long and, how long it took me. And like I said, it's a pain in the ass. However, you only do it once, because then you have the data. It's all about data, right? And then you're going to work with that data. So do a time study. The other thing I do encourage you to do is to work in a digital planner. I'm starting to use Trello, because you want to be able to move things around in priority, because obviously we prioritize our to-do list, but we want to move things around in priority based on due dates. You don't want to go, oh, I have a week to do thus and so, and then discover that, oh shit, I didn't start early enough. I'm like rushing to get this thing done by the deadline. Right? So if you're working in a Trello, you can like kind of prioritize things and move them around, and it still stays clean and visually pretty for your brain. Your brain doesn't like scribbles and scrabbles and all this crap going on paper. So I am a paper and pencil girl. I am disciplining myself to learn to use Trello and to, be able to move cards and add stuff into the cards. Anyway, it's whatever your, Asana, whatever you want to use. Okay. Now, the other thing is that I want you to start really breaking things down into the tiniest steps that you can. Okay, let's say you have, okay, this is my signature show. I do this every week, right? Okay, so it's like, I could write down on my list, create signature show. No, it's like design, figure out what image I need. Figure out the title, design the image in Canva, download the image, put it into StreamYard, like break it down into tiny things. Why? Number one, because you're going to experience accomplishment. I really encourage you to put squares and be able to put check boxes in, it's like that pleasure that little kids get when they get a star on their chart. The more you can check things off, which means you got to have tiny tasks so you can get a shitload of checks on your list by the end of the day, that creates a dopamine hit every time you put a check in your box. And dopamine is this beautiful, beautiful neurotransmitter that just like makes us feel really, really happy. The happier you are, the more focused you are, the more efficient you can be, and the more you begin to see yourself as accomplishing things, as moving towards your goals, moving the needle, and being able to see yourself in a new persona, a new identity. I am getting shit done. Look at that. I did 27 things. It doesn't matter if the 27 things only took you 2 minutes each. I want you to see a lot of checks in the box, because it tells your brain, I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this. I'm really doing this thing, right? The more we can give the pleasure experience into the journey, as opposed to just you only get the pleasure once you've achieved the goal. No, you gotta have dopamine hits throughout the entire journey of achieving a goal, working through something. All right. So that's very, very important. And then I talked about bacheling or similar things. Really, really encourage you to get an accountability partner or a coach like myself, because what I do is I have my women proclaim what are they going to do in the next week. And so there's that accountability, and having that, knowing that someone else has on their radar screen what you're going to get done, really pulls you through that resistance even more, because most of us will not let someone else down, but they will let we will let ourselves down time and time again. So accountability partners are really, really important and very impactful in your journey. All right, so in review, we have, in order to optimize yourself and implement your to-do list, you're going to rewire your brain with the affirmation, I'm an implementer who's organized, efficient, focused, and effectively completing my to-do list. You're going to set an implementation intention, time, the task, and where it's going to happen. All right. You're going to write those things every day. You're going to listen to your affirmation every day. Number 3, you're going to always push through that discomfort, knowing that you are actively creating a new neuronal cable in your brain that will eventually become a habit, which will eventually become a subconscious automatic behavior. That's the ultimate goal. You're going to do a time study for a week. However, you research time studies. People are talking about it all the time, so that you have an accurate awareness of how long it takes you to get things done. You're going to you're going to write your to-do list with verb words first, because we want to tell your brain what kind of a hat, what performance mode is it going to be in. And then you want to put all of the, you want to batch all of the same performance mode tasks together. You want to work in a digital planner if you can, and it is a skill that you have to practice. A lot of us are paper pencil people. And it's a habit. It's something that you can eventually build. It's a muscle. It's a muscle. And you have to just stick with it for a while. 180 days, the 180K that Tamsin Horton says, do it for 180 days. And if you really, really, really hate it, by then, in 180 days, you're going to have it freaking nailed. And it's going to be like you don't even think about it anymore. You just open your computer, you open your Trello or your Asana, and bam, you jam. Bam, you jam. Bam, you jam. I like that. Okay, and then breaking things down really tiny, because you want to get the dopamine hit of putting the check in your box. And finally, get an accountability partner. I hope that this makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to come in and answer them for you. I have on the because a lot of us are, trying to do our to-do list to make more money or bring more of something into our life. So I encourage you to grab my scarcity hack. It's a free thing. And what that's going to do, it's going to give you another brain training and kind of rewiring and working with the law of attraction process for breaking through an area of your life that you're not fulfilled in, that feels it feels scarce. There's not enough of it. It might be there's not enough money. I do actually teach the scarcity hack in the context of money, because most people want more money. So if you want more money, that's a definite thing to grab and to start working with this little process and worksheet. But it can be about, maybe you don't have enough physical health in your body. You can use the scarcity hack process for that. Maybe you don't have enough love in your life or connection in your life, and you can use the scarcity hack for that. The scarcity hack you can use for anything in your life that feels sub-fulfilling, okay, that you want more fulfillment in. And if you are wanting, so write that down, scarcity hack. And if you're resonating with the way I'm talking about things as a brain coach for anxiety transformation and success acceleration, if you're wanting somebody to teach you how to manifest strategically, to rewire your brain, to work with spirit and source energy, and just amplify the joy and the ease and have systems and strategies partnered with it. There's the hustle culture, and then there's the complete woo culture, just, think and receive and all of that. I am the mid lane there because I am about, you have to take action. You do need systems. You do need strategies. And you really want to be working even more. I would say my weight system here, if this is the hustle culture, more mindset kind of stuff, I'm a little bit higher here in the utilizing and leveraging the law of attraction, leveraging rewiring your brain. So if you realize that you need both and you want a little more magic going on to make this easier, I am your girl. And you can grab a success strategy session. It's like a free 45-minute conversation with me where you'll fill out a little questionnaire, and it'll kind of say, what are your challenges? What does success look like for you? What is it that you want more of in your life? What have you tried? It doesn't take you long. Maybe it takes you 5 minutes to fill out. But it's going to allow me to go, okay, you tried this, that didn't work. You tried that didn't work. This, whatever. That's going to give me a little bit of information about your brain, because every brain is different. And every approach, therefore, needs to be different for the kind of brain that you have. And to figure out, okay, what are your goals? And I'll be able to tell you, you need to address this, and this. And here's what I offer that can address that, or here's a resource that that might be more aligned for you. And that's an opportunity for you to talk directly with me, and for us to kind of get our heads together on, what do I offer that might help you, or what do I know that might help you that might not be me? Because ultimately, I want you to be successful. And if I see something to be a better match than myself, that's what I'm going to recommend for you, because I am an honest person and I am in integrity. And I'm not here to get your money. I'm here to serve you, to raise you up into your power, your confidence, and your success, because you are an amazing being. I hope this has served you. I'm going to be showing up every Tuesday at noon for 30 minutes to do a Power Me Up pop-up live experience here in Facebook group, Mojo Masters Momentum Club. Definitely join that if you haven't, because I'll also pop in there occasionally during the week, and on YouTube, where you can also find a lot more resources from me. Have a beautiful day, and just remember, you're doing a great job. And just keep on the path. Every day, do 0.9999999% better, and you will completely change where you land in 5, 10, 20 years. You've got this. I believe in you.